I've got most of the trench dug now. Just got a few tree roots to deal with. I'll have to hook into them with the axe, especially up this end. I could use the chainsaw, but I don't want to wreck the blade by hitting the dirt. So this old stump here on the corner, just got to cut those tree roots out so I can run the poly pipe around. I've got all those tree roots cut out now, so we're fairly well ready to go to lay the pipe. Up this end where I've dug through the gravel, I'm going to sleeve the pipe, so when I backfill it none of the rock will pierce the poly pipe. What we're using here is 25mm poly pipe. It's a blue line pipe. They come in different grades. Originally I was going to go with 3/4 or 19mm pipe, but I decided to go with inch pipe or around 25mm pipe. This is a metric pipe, 25mm, so it is slightly different than 1 inch. You can get different grades. There's a grade known as a rural. This is blue line, which is a thicker wall density and made for pressure, which we don't really need in this situation because the only pressure on the pipe will be coming from the tanks, but just because it's thicker wall, it's better to bury into the ground so you have less troubles later on. These are the fittings we'll be using. They're just a poly fitting. Probably familiar with these. Just with a sleeve in there, the poly pushes in and you screw that up. Just around hand tight or just over. So these end connectors here, these will go screw into the valve on the tanks. So you see the brass ball valve. I believe they are 1.5-inch ball valves. So I've got a poly reducing bush in there, and that'll go to these inch end connectors, and then an elbow will go after that into the ground. And then depending which tank it is, well the end tank will have another elbow in the ground, like that big end tank. This tank here, which will be the middle, will have a T-piece. And here we're at the where the pump station will be. So we'll come along with the poly, it'll tee in, come in through the underneath, and then I'll elbow and come up through the floor, and that'll come up to another ball valve, and then go through all the filter system, which I still have to organise what I'm doing and purchase there. But that'll be the basic layout. So I'll run this poly out. I'm just going to run it in through a hose up the other end, a sleeve to protect it from the rocks, as I said. Just some old pipe I got laying around. And we'll see where we go from there.